All right, guys, we are going to be reacting here to more of the Andrew Wilson against this lady here. I mean, he's been really just destroying this lady called Charlie, I think her is. And what I noticed is that she liked to read a lot from ChatGPT. Seems like, might be wrong here. Let me know what you guys think. Let's jump in.
And all we're asking for is your position to clarify this, and then we're getting pushback by saying I don't want to clarify this. All it boils down to, and all we want to do is get clarification for your position and understand what makes this right. And we can't even get that. We still haven't gotten that throughout this whole debate.
So why don't if you think we can't answer, why do you think it is moral? Why do you think the colonization of America was moral?
We're asking you if it's moral, if it's right, and we can't even get that from you.
You agree with the force doctrine, man. So tell us, why is it moral?
Did I say I agree with force doctrine?
Is this not the fucking opening of this? How this whole thing began was your threads, where you're all about what was the exact thing that you said specifically? This argument that started.
Oh, you're going to go into my threads account where I told this guy
there's no such, there is just not stolen land. It's conquered land. The spoils of war go to the victor, been happening for centuries and will continue for centuries more. And you have argued that this is moral.
So a descriptor?
Why?
No, I never said morality in there. I'm just offering a description of something that happened.
Do you feel that it is moral? Do you feel that it is moral?
Is that something that happened? Did I say it ought happen anywhere in that post that I put up?
No.
So your position is that it's moral, though? Is that not the position?
No, that's not his position. Based on what I'm understanding, it's just a description. There's no moral. It's not arguing for the morality of it. It's just a description.
Moral claim that I made on that.
Sometimes, so I would make the.
When I got the prompt for this debate, it said, prompt: is it immoral to take land by force?
Yes.
No, Andrew Wilson and Marte. Yes.
Yes,
Charlie,
you're asking me about the prompt now. You were asking me about my post, which is a completely unrelated thing as far as morality. Now we're talking about the prompt. Yes, now
we're asking you to add the component of morality to it.
Take land by force.
I think that's a fair. Hang on, I think that's a fair question.
So
when you ask now, finally, you're actually getting to a fair question. So when is it moral to take land? That's what we're really asking here, right?
Yes.
So when is it moral to take land? Ever?
I wanna ask you.
Well, okay. Well, let's start with this. Can both sides agree that it is sometimes moral to take land by force?
I would say
it is, and I'll explain why. If somebody bad guy, and we did it, World War II, mustache guy with the mustache was deleting a lot of people. We went there, we took the land. I mean, we took land, and then we give it away, of course, but we took land. We conquered the land, basically. So yes.
I'm not going to apply the word morality to that.
Why not?
What? Well, I'm sorry.
What does that
hang on. Should you do? Is it? Should you do what is just?
Property because you're not paying your property taxes, that might not be moral. That's not a moral question. That's a question of.
I'm sorry. Justice has a moral implication. Should you do what's just?
Justice doesn't always have a moral implication.
It always does.
Question: can you provide me? You think? Okay, you said you think it is sometimes moral to take land. Can you provide examples of when you think it is sometimes?
Yeah, I thought it was just fine for like the Soviet Union to invade Nazi Germany and take their land. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for us to invade the Japanese.
That's literally the argument that I gave.
Islands and take that land. I thought that was fine too. I also think that it's fine if you come across like a people group. Like I'll give you an example. I'm going to tell you this example. It's a little bit of a hit in the gut, but you can look it up if you think I'm lying to you. They're called the Cum Warriors of Papua New Guinea. And I'm going to explain. And I know how this sounds, but you can Google it right now if you think I'm lying to you. And here's what they do, the Cum Warriors of Papua New Guinea. They like to make the little children, the boys inside of their tribe, well, fill up in the most disgusting way you can imagine on male semen in order to have a rite of passage. Now, under Christian ethics, I'm fine putting all these fuckers to the sword. Like, I'm fine with that.
That's crazy.
Taking children out of that domain and, redistributing them somewhere else. But can you actually claim the same thing? Can you even claim, if it is the case, these children, they love this, they say, I want this, that's all they say is that they want to stay, they love this is their rite of passage, because it's culturally relative, Can you even make a claim that it's bad? Can you even tell me why that would be bad from your view?
I mean, yes, I think that the abuse of children is wrong because those are vulnerable individuals. Those are
but
vulnerable
abuse,
individuals that
how can it be abuse if they're demanding it, lady?
If they're demanding to be
Yeah.
Yo, that's some weird stuff. It is true, man. It's a tribe. Ugh, man. It's a tribe that make the what's it? Where was it? Like, let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. This is true. Wow. So basically, makes. Let me see. And you look it up and what the hell? Where is it? Oh, man, this is crazy, bro. It's just number 11. Okay. Yep, that is true. In Zambia tribe in Papua New Guinea, when a boy turns 7, he is removed from the presence of all females, as it is believed that women can be dangerous to men and supposed to consume. Oh my God. Consume for 10 years. Let's put it like that. To smart their rite passage from boyhood to manhood. Young boys have to accumulate either by receiving oral pen. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is disgusting. How is this even true, man? And don't try to look at it in Google because it's gonna appear a lot of images, kind of weird, very GAY stuff. But there's a lot of this stuff, man. Like even in Wikipedia, it seems like it's a thing. Golly, this is crazy.
How can it be rape if you're demanding it?
Oh,
because it's a child that doesn't know what's.
Yeah, but you see, the problem is with your relativism, the problem with your relative view, right, is that even child is relative to you. It's all culturally dependent. What is a child's even relative from your view? Everything is fucking culturally relative to you.
In the 21st century, we have a pretty complete definition of child.
Who's we? Who the fuck is we? They don't.
If you say the word child,
they don't have the same view. Why are they wrong? Why are they wrong? Why are they wrong? Why?
It's a vulnerable human being that they are touching.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, the idea of what is a child for you is relative to the culture, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay, so then if they say a fucking 12-year-old boy is a man, who the fuck are you to say they're not?
Because I can observe that is not a man.
Well, how? Give me the objective metric for what is manhood.
Here, guys.
Has not hit puberty yet. It's still very much.
They hit puberty at 12. Yeah.
Okay, you look at a teenage boy and you're going to tell me that's a man?
Tell me what your metric for manhood is.
Has reached maturity.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Why we are debating this kind of people, man? These people are unhinged. You see how she's now between the wall and the sword? The problem is that, and you notice how she asked the question when Andrew's asking a question, and the problem is that we did this for years, and especially when it comes down to this kind of debates, what I notice is all conservatives, they always used to just get in this back and forward, but never used Socratic methods to just debate these ideas. She doesn't know, guys. That's the real truth is that she hasn't even thought about this, and her point of view is basically, I'm gonna put it like this: she's just a liberal woman. That's it. Her moral ethic background comes from just being a liberal woman. That's it, guys.
What does that mean? When is that? When
you're done fucking growing.
When is that?
Oh my God.
Do you not know when you're done?
Yeah,
growing?
You don't know. So what I'm asking you is like, when is manhood for a man? When does that kick in? Tell me.
I guess it would be relative, dependent on when.
Yeah, it's fucking exactly. It's relative depending on the culture.
You are being ridiculous. There's absolutely
I'm being ridiculous.
An age group crazy, that, man. By and by, we all agree are children. And by the way,
prepubescent.
Yes, prepubescent.
And are they prepubescent at 12?
They could be.
But the ones who aren't,
going through puberty is very much not the same as having finished puberty.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. So if they finish at 13, it's fine. They're men.
Don't finish puberty at 13.
You can, yeah, of course.
Has
you can.
their brain finished developing? Can they have
Let's say that their brain did finish developing.
Judgments?
Their brain finished developing at 13, and they're. By the way, if you're going off of that, then you're not a man until you're 25. How can you consent?
That study isn't really reputable because they stopped studying the subjects at age 20.
Yo, she's reading so bad, bro. It's like she's just reading the Discord. She has like a Discord. She's like, yeah, that study has been, and the reason she's stretching out the words is to make sure that she have enough time to get what they're trying to text her.
So that's not really.
I totally and completely agree.
I agree.
When you can make sound, reasonable judgments.
When is that?
What did they agree on?
Because they stopped studying the subjects at age 25, so that's not really.
I totally and completely agree.
I agree.
When you can make sound, reasonable judgments.
When is that?
When you don't do stupid shit.
When is that?
Stupid shit.
Give me the age.
Depends.
That's right. It depends. So you have no objective metric for when these people are even men. Like all you're doing is giving me bullshit.
Adults who can't do that. There are severely disabled adults.
So you don't have a standard at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
No standard for anything.
Nothing.
Cannot understand the consequences of their actions.
The standard is basically everything that is Western based. That is starting, of course, from Christianity all the way from the top to bottom. She's just against it. That's her metric of belief. Everything built by what we call the white man, right? With the Westerners, she's all against it because she have she have a better moral ground. A moral ground that cannot be even described during this debate. We don't know. We're still figuring out what it is.
Now let me consent to interactions.
You know what? I'll just grant all this.
With other adults.
If you came across. If you and I, let's just say, like a company came and we were on an expedition, and we came across this tribe in Papua New Guinea where they do that to boys as a rite of passage, and I ordered my men to go in there and just take these fuckers out, gun them down, and we're getting these kids the fuck out of here. Man.
Hey, good point here from Andrew, man. I read it. It's a bad. I'm sorry, guys. There's cultures and traditions that are simply bad, man. They're just taking advantage of these kids, and you cannot be in favor of that, man. Literally, kids sucking lollipop from older men for 10 years, bro. Come on now.
Anything wrong?
Could you have gone about
to
it?
gun down the?
Shut up, bro.
They don't want to go. Yeah, they don't want to go.
You see a man currently sexually abusing a child.
Yeah, that's right.
You physically attack him. I think good. If it is just this is my knowledge of this tribe. For some reason, you go and kill them all. Bad.
Wait! I don't understand. So you want me to leave the boys there to get molested?
No, but there are other approaches that.
What? Okay, give me the approach.
There are certainly many cultures that have practices that I strongly disagree with. And within those cultures, you can oftentimes find groups of people that are advocating against those practices. And what you can do is you can fucking support them.
Okay, but it's relative. So you can actually say that their perception of what is immoral is worse than yours because it's relative, right?
I think the bigger
question. Let her answer.
Yo, it's the simp, man. We have to do something about simping. This guy, you see, he's simping right now. He cannot allow her to be burned. Very metaphorically, of course, you do metaphorically. Burn. Because simply, he needs to simp. That's what it is. He simply needs to jump in and simp.
We agree on something.
I think the bigger question.
Let her answer.
If we agree on something, then
they don't agree with you.
We both want it.
They don't agree with you. So what makes your standard superior?
Will they never agree with her?
They just don't. They object. That's their culture.
I'm discussing, for example, feminists in Iran. Those are groups that I agree with that do not agree with
I agree you agree with them. What makes their standard more correct if it's just culturally relative?
Because they are having their freedoms restricted.
What
and are
makes
put in
that more?
harm's way.
That's cultural Do you know what
Oh my God.
relativism means? It means
Yes,
it's just
I'm
as
aware.
good there as it is here. So if that's the case,
It's bad because your Bible says so. Okay, bro.
if it's all relative, how could you say that your standard for feminism is better or worse than their standard for oppressing women? How?
Because you can observe that some people are coming to harm and are unhappy with their treatment.
You can observe that under
explain that?
feminism.
You can observe harm coming to women.
But
that
why
are, you
would a
know,
harm
unable to
standard,
wear
if
what they
it's
like to wear?
culturally relative, be are you saying it's objectively worse?
I would say that anything that infringes upon people's ability to live the way they want in a way that is not harming other people, I
It's
think
their
that
culture.
infringing
They're
upon those
accepting it.
rights-
So then it's not culturally relative?
I think that cultural relative doesn't mean that there is no.
Wait, there's universal
this is a-
ethics? Wait, is there universal standards? Are you about to make a universal claim?
No, I would say that generally,
Oh, wait, no, you're going to contradict
sometimes
yourself.
people
Sorry.
share the same values. As
Yeah,
I
but they
do.
don't share the same values. And isn't
No,
it,
the
if it's a case
feminist
that is
groups-
relative.
The feminist groups that are there advocating for themselves.
Yeah, but
that
the
share my values, I
non-feminists,
would support
why are the
them.
non-feminists wrong if it's relative? Wouldn't it be equal to your view?
If the people that are experiencing these injustices disagree with them, then I would support the people who are
They
experiencing
don't
injustices and
disagree with
share my
them.
views.
If they don't disagree with them,
There are
they
feminist
aren't.
movements in Iran.
If they don't,
Yo, man, she just saying that statement because somebody just put it in her Discord. I can guarantee that 100%. Just show me that video, man. Show me that she recorded. Ah, man, this is crazy. There's some feminists in Iran, bro. Where is that statement even coming from? Like, this is crazy.
disagree with them, are they wrong if you're a cultural relativist?
Are they wrong?
Yeah.
You have a
She's
right to
stretching it.
tell them what's
She's-
By
right or
my
wrong, Charlie.
standards, yes, I would say that
By
that is
your
wrong.
stand, but by
But I am
relativism,
not God.
got it. So if it was the case that you came across this island where they were diddling these little boys, you can't tell me that objectively they're even doing anything wrong, can
Yeah,
you?
you can't.
I am dead certain because in nearly every society that I can think of,
So you're going to make a
know
universal moral claim?
that people do not like being subjected.
So you're
to
making a
abuse,
universal moral
and
claim?
people will be against that.
So
What I'm
are you
saying is
making
that
a universal
people-
moral claim?
The claim that I'm making is that
Yeah.
universally people do not like to be abused or harmed.
Okay, but in this case, the kids don't see it as abuse or as harm. They demand it because it's a rite of passage. Tell me why they're wrong.
I mean, do you know that for a fact about those children?
Yes, you look it up
Have they
right
been
now.
interviewed?
Yes. The cum warriors of Papua New Guinea. No kidding. Look it up. Can you tell me why they would be wrong?
Yo, look at her body language. Her body language says, "Oh man,
Please,
I'm gonna
we
die
should-
in this. So I'm gonna die in this hill. This is not good for me." That's her body language right now. And the guy on the left, the reason he's not jumping in because he's been corrected multiple times. And this is what Andrew has really learned doing a lot of whatever podcast debate. The sisterhood and dealing with weak men. I'm not saying I don't know this dude. I'm not claiming he's weak, but he does give me weak kind of characteristics and traits. They tend to save women for some reason. I don't know. They want to protect them when they don't want to be protected, guys. They don't want to be protected.
They're on top
Yes, because it is harming.
While she's looking
a
that up,
group
can
of
I ask?
people.
because they're okay, but it's
Because they are
relative.
harming a group of people.
So is it
There are
objectively
morals
wrong
that
to
are
harm groups of
relative.
people?
Yes, it is harm to do bad. Yes, it is.
Is
bad.
it
bad to do harm.
objectively? Is it objectively bad to do harm to people? Objectively.
I would say that is also subjective. However, many of us can disagree or agree upon.
It's subjective, it's conditional.
Stop fucking laughing like that. You
It's
fucking-
it's a
Listen to me,
universal.
listen to me,
It's
listen to me.
universally wrong subjectively, dummy. Like what
Yeah,
the fuck are you talking? It's
that's-
universally subjectively wrong.
That's a work salad right there.
Andrew, why don't you explain why?
Conditional. Is that what that you're saying?
Andrew,
Okay, yeah, I'll
I
explain.
understand
I'll
why
explain.
they do it.
If you make a universal-
my
yeah,
God,
if
I
you
don't
make
want
a-
you to start talking about Jesus.
If
shit,
you make a
man.
universal, if you
No.
I'm
I
not-
want to know why
Did I
the
mention
Calm
Jesus?
Warriors do the. Why do
I'm
they do what they
explaining
do?
to you. I'm explaining to you the distinction here between universal claims, universal moral claims, objective claims. She's saying objectively this is always wrong. Subjectively, That's A plus not A, which is a contradiction. A and not A is a contradiction. Do you understand? Like, you can't say this is an objectively subjective claim.
Yeah,
that's like saying, I don't know. That's a.
It's like saying I'm a tall and a small person. You can't say that. It's a complete contradiction. You're not a tall and small person.
Dog cat. It's A and not A. It's a contradiction. It's the third law of logic for a reason, the law of non-contradiction. We cannot contradict what we say, or it can't be true, right? That would be the base of a truth claim.
If I ask a question, I usually ask for a reason. Why do the Come Warriors do what they do?
It's cultural.
It's part of their cultural integration for how to become a warrior. Taught down through the lines for whatever reason.
Why? Why do they?
Why would that?
I don't know. It's a culture. Why he's saying that? Why he asking these follow-up questions? Andrew doesn't know. Andrew is not a Papagania guy.
Matter.
It
is
doesn't
it universally
matter.
wrong or not?
I think that context is always important.
Okay.
Knowing the historical context behind things.
Oh my God,
is
this is
universally healthy
Chuck,
when it comes
I'm
to
going to ask you a question,
deciding.
Chuck. How can this be universal, objective opinion of yours when they don't agree with you?
Yeah.
Can you
How
answer
can it be
that?
universal?
How can this be a universal construct, as if you want to say this, and objective when they disagree with you?
Yeah.
Would you not be oppressive to this culture
Correct.
by their standards?
And if you were oppressive, wouldn't that be a good
They're
thing?
getting cooked. They're getting cooked.
So again, while I believe
They're
morality is
getting cooked. They're getting cooked.
objective, so that we can continue as a species,
They will
and live
continue.
together in harmony.
Yeah, why wouldn't they continue as a species?
I mean, they'd probably continue, but certainly not
So
in
then-
harmony.
so then
I'm
that
reading up
wouldn't-
more on this,
Right,
and
you
actually,
earlier said,
this
what if I went in and just wiped them all out?
Let her
this
finish her
practice
thought,
comes
please.
from like a hatred of women.
Yeah, whatever it is, who cares?
It's a hatred.
It's
of
their
women. Like,
practice.
it's because they hate women.
Tell me why it's wrong, though.
Because this
Objectively
implies
wrong.
that in that culture,
Mhm.
if they are doing this practice because they think women are disgusting and evil, and boys should be separated from them and relieved of the taint of the woman,
Yeah.
there are probably, most likely, feminists, some sort of. I mean, maybe not at this point, but
So is
certainly,
feminism objectively correct?
I would say that subjugating anyone
What's my question? Can you repeat my question?
to
Can
me,
you- can-
to
yeah,
me, it's
to
wrong.
you.
To me, it's wrong.
So it's
and
not-
Many people agree.
So feminism
Many
is
people
not.
agree.
So feminism's not objectively correct.
Do you believe in gravity?
Sure.
Do you think it's objectively correct?
Yes, I think it's
Can't
objective.
really prove it though.
You'd say subjectively correct. Oh my God. Of course I was gonna say yes. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I think this is one of these little simpy in her Discord. I tried to throw this gravity. I have a very good one here. Follow through this. Man, these people are getting cooked. And the problem is that you're dealing with a minority, and they said that it was not okay to conquer land. Right? It was in no circumstance you can just conquer land. But they're doing something very wrong. What do you do about it? You allow it to happen? Personally, I believe these people will try to do something about it and then justify it. The Andrew side, they will do about it, but they have a moral system why they do it. These two, they have to deal with their own sense of morality, which is completely subjective, and just, you know, they might be in a situation that they have to live with the guilt of themselves. For Christians on the other side, we can understand why we're doing it, because it's morally wrong based on our ethics and our ecclesiastic structure. It's simple as that, guys.
That just proved that it really prove it though. That just proved that it fell. That doesn't actually prove anything.
Well, it proves that there's a force that made it fall.
That doesn't. I don't know what that means. What's a
You can have a
force?
string tied to it. And you just pull it
Literally
down.
right in front of you, Chuck.
That's true.
Wow.
It's a good thing. It's a good
Wow.
thing that I can demonstrate using empirical
this is
data that a
crazy.
force exists, which is material that we can measure.
What is
Can
the
I
force
get back
though?
to
The force is what we
How
call
does that prove
gravity.
anything?
We're on the
We call
semantics.
that force gravity. Now
People saw things drop a million gazillion times before we discovered what fucking gravity
and they
was.
called that force not lots of different things, but they all didn't jump off cliffs because they knew they would die, huh?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, so they knew there was a material
Gravity and
force that pulled you down.
The implications of fucking, like the concept of gravity and what that means.
Until we developed wings.
Okay,
and
so wait a
engines.
second. I'm sorry.
And
And
now we
engines
can
and
fly.
I'm
rockets.
sorry. So people thought it was okay to jump off of really high cliffs before we knew what gravity
that's not
was?
what I said. But they
Oh,
didn't
so they could
understand
observe
what
that there was a
exactly is
material.
happening.
So they could observe that there was a material thing which happened.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. And what's
And
the
I'm saying
first
that there
step
are
of
material
what's the
fucking
very first step of the
consequences. There are
scientific method?
material consequences
What's the
to
very
subjugation of
first
other
step?
human beings.
Lady, what's the very first step of the scientific method?
Go
In
ahead.
order to have an experiment, what's the very first step?
Hypothesis?
No. You fucking dunce. Observation. Observation. You
I
must
studied
observe.
literature. My bad. I didn't study science.
You must observe, right? You have to have an observation. How would you come up with a hypothesis absent an observation? A hypothesis about what?
Are we at any point going to get back to the
Yeah,
topic?
but this
Yeah.
is all relative to this. You're making the
He's
claim.
bringing it back. See, guy on the left here, Simpy guy here, he doesn't understand what Andrew's doing. He came here with a lot of ego, thinking that he's gonna own these right nut jobs, right? Andrew's gonna bring this home. You guys are gonna see.
So here's why. I'll explain it.
relevant?
I'll break it down. I'll break down how all of this is relevant very quickly. You say this is a theft and it's immoral. You have no standard for morality and no standard for theft. And your standard for theft is contradictory. I just demonstrated how it's contradictory. Her demonstration of morality is that it's both objective and subjective. Both of you are in direct contradiction. That's why Samantha. Now, hang on. Almost done. Almost done. You asked, why are semantics so fucking important? Now you know. Because instantly I can get to the core of your worldview and see that you're fucking completely in contradiction to your own standards, which you demand that you apply to us when we're making arguments to the contrary using objective standards. Now, if you want to make the query and probe on that, that's great. I can't wait for that. But man, can you at least be fucking consistent in your worldview?
You didn't ask. Well, here's
Sure,
what you
yeah, so
asked.
what
You
I mean
asked
by
her.
what I mean by morality being subjective is that everyone has a
I
different
cannot
moral
believe the
code.
lady here on the right on this panel has more authority than this guy. I cannot believe it, man. You see in this back and forward, and you see how the Simpy guy's gonna back off.
My moral code has
And it's
determined
relative?
that the
See, I told you.
subjective
I told you
of
it's gonna
other
back
human
off.
beings- the subjection
Which
of
is
other
relative.
human beings
Yes,
is
it's relative.
bad. It doesn't fucking matter.
Okay.
What I'm
Okay.
saying
Doesn't
is that while morality is
Then
subjective,
I agree. It doesn't matter.
if many people
I agree.
listen to me, if many people agree
Ah,
on
so
a specific morality
Ah.
and we decide to enforce it, then it is enforced.
I see. So if it were the case that you had a country, let's say, where 80% of the women died from a plague and men outnumbered them 4-1, and then they universally agreed that raping these women would be morally acceptable and pass that into legislation, that would be okay, right?
That is not at all what I said. Did you not just
Yeah, actually it is. What you
He's testing your logic. He's testing your logic. You say no, you have to defend it.
just said is that universal
harm to
you
others
just said
is
that
bad?
universal subjective claims are bad based on consensus of the majority. I gave you an instance where the majority comes to a consensus against the minority. You would have to say that that's okay, right?
I think that the entire world would be horrified by it. I think that the majority of
Let's say
people-
there was no other world than this world where
Okay,
60
so in your fantasy
where
land where all the women die and then they get raped.
Oh my god.
let's just say
I think that the women would
Yeah.
most likely dislike it.
yeah, okay, great, but we have a consensus though.
That's a and
That's
We have a
utterly
consensus,
ridiculous
right?
hypothetical. Can we get
Yeah,
back to the
yeah,
real world
consensus.
for a
We
moment?
have a consensus.
Can we get back to the real
No,
world?
can we get back to the consensus?
I want to.
They
You said
wanna move it, they
consensus
wanna
was
move it.
okay, right?
You
You're getting
asked
cooked.
a disingenuous question, Andrew, and I
It's
want to
not
get back to
disingenuous.
that.
Answer the question.
Let me
Answer it.
explain why it's disingenuous.
You're never
and
gonna
then you
answer
can
any
answer
fucking
it. So
question.
You didn't ask. Here's what the question was. The scenario you posed was: here is this group of people. They engage in a behavior that
Yeah.
some in the West would find reprehensible. Would I
Right.
be morally justified in killing those people in order to save those children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then you launched from there and into an interrogation about whether
the consistency
or
of
not
that
she
view,
believed it was morally right that whether she believed that their habits were morally correct.
Yeah.
That's what you asked, right?
And
But
the problem with this is what?
The original question was, would it be morally right to kill them
Yeah,
in
would
order
it?
to save those
Yeah,
children?
why would it be immoral to do
That's
that?
a completely different
Okay, well,
question.
I'll just ask you directly. Why would it be immoral for me to put all those men to the sword and rescue those children? Why?
Because we have better ways of going about it. That might
What are
take
they?
a little more
Oh my God,
time.
this
What are
feminist
they?
take, man.
It might be educating them about why that's bad. It might be going
So
on.
how many of them-
Oh, these people committing the act, so they're gonna send them. You're gonna sit them in a little circle and just explaining why it's wrong what they're doing. This is the problem with very passive aggressive and weak man approach. Sometimes, listen, guys, there's cultures that you have to approach them with the same energy. Like, why these people want to approach these very bad culture, but they're more kind. No, man, you have to approach them with the same energy. They're doing something very bad, and you should approach them something similar in energy wise. I'm not saying the same practice, but you might have to round up some of these people, man. You have to. At some point, you have to. I'm not saying it's okay, but if that's from the position, if you want to intervene, that is. And these people, they're so, man, they're so disingenuous.
Those children should I allow to get?
Leaving them the fuck alone?
That's fair. How many of those children should I allow to be molested while you come to a consensus?
There we go.
Well, how many of those children are upset at what you consider to
All
be
of them.
immoral?
Zero.
None of them.
Hang on, zero.
So
Zero.
to them, it's not harm. In their worldview, it's not harm.
He conceded. He
So
conceded.
in that case,
Let him cook. He's cooking.
He just conceded here. He just conceded.
Let him cook, lady.
Cook, man.
Can you let him finish?
I don't think.
Do you
at
have
this
children?
point, By no. Ew.
Okay, but I do.
By my.
So I do. So therefore, I'm the
morality.
expert. Yeah.
No. Well, what I'm saying is.
Oh, this lady just came in, bro, and didn't.
I'm glad
based
that the
on this
childless are always telling the
conversation,
child of
I don't
the
think
ones
that,
with
like,
you
child.
let him
you
answer?
were
Yeah.
like
Let him
Yeah,
answer.
frankly
ahead,
someone
Chris.
that I don't
Chuck,
think a
you're diverting
child
right now.
raised
Hey,
by
Yeah, who cares? Have a kid and then we'll talk.
Indians would be-
But
would
back
be
to
happy.
Chris.
Christopher,
Back
did
to
you
Chris.
want
Yeah.
to continue?
She's doing this because basically the guy it was.
brain.
Chris, you were cooking, bro. You're right. Is it the case that it's the kids perceive it as harmful? Well, no, Chris, they don't. So am I morally unjustified in doing
so
that?
my question then to you is it morally justifiable to commit another act of immorality to save those kids? So
No,
what
he's
you're
trying to put it back on Andrew.
doing
No,
is you're trying to put
no, he put it back on Andrew.
this is worse than this. You're trying to get us to answer that question of whether
Yeah.
I think it's less
He's
immoral
trying to put it back on
to
Andrew.
kill
It's
2,000
not gonna work.
people in a remote corner of Papua New Guinea because
Yeah.
of something immoral that
Yeah,
they
I would do
have
it, Chris.
as part of their
Yeah, Chris. I'll answer you directly. Yeah, Chris, I'd put them all to the sword and I'd get all those boys out of there. The fact that you wouldn't and would allow them to stay there and get molested tells me
No,
all I need
I'm
to
not
know about
saying
your
I
fucking
wouldn't.
worldview,
I'm
Chris.
asking you-
Tells me
That's
all I
it,
need to know
that's
about
it.
your worldview, Chris.
I'm asking you by what moral code do you decide that
Ecclesiastic.
one of those actions is
Why,
better than the
Chris,
other?
I'm glad you asked. I use universalized Christian ethics
That's it.
for my moral code.
Oh, great. Let's dive into that.
Oh, let's, Chris. Tell me why it is, if you could presuppose why it would be that I should not have an objective standard for Christian ethics or how Christian ethics is bad. I can't wait to hear it. Why is Christian
Yeah,
ethics
let's
bad?
talk about whether
Chris?
Christian ethics.
Again, he's using a very old tactic of answering a question with a question, which even a lot of consultants use to deviate or just hold control the conversation, guys. That's what it is. It's old tactic.
protects, say, the subjugation of women using
Yeah, let's.
force.
Yeah, let's.
Let's get back to that.
Yeah, let's. So can I ask you a
Define how
question?
your Christian ethics makes your force doctrine. Okay.
He already told you, bro. Oh my god.
How does Christian ethics make force? Wait a second. I'm sorry. Force doctrine is a
That's what we're describing.
descriptor.
You have
Force
done,
doctrine is
they
a
do not. So
descriptor.
you're saying I have the ability to kill these people because I don't think what they're doing is right.
And so what I would do is I would appeal to this universal of Christian ethics to say why it would be that even if you
What are
had
these universal?
So
Oh my
if you would
God.
stop for 10 seconds, lady, I'll explain them. If it is the case, though, Chris, that you say to me, Andrew, this descriptor there could be immoral things people do with this descriptor. I agree, Chris. The great thing about Christian ethics is that I can both see the descriptive truth of reality, which is force doctrine, and I can use Christian ethics at the same time to oppose the times where it's used immorally, objectively and universally. And Chris, you can't fucking do that because you just got done advocating to me why it's actually more moral for me to allow children to continue to get molested in Papua New Guinea rather than put them all to the sword, Chris. And that's how I know that I'm fucking superior to all of you fuckers in every conceivable way, Chris. Now you get it.
Hey, is that your assertion?
That's it, guys. That's it. Shout out to Andrew. Great job, man. He's doing, bro. You guys don't have no idea where the Western world is right now, to the point that imagine for years, right? We were in a position of complete submission. Our culture wasn't on a position of complete submission, to the point that we even have to feel guilty of our own religion, our own culture, our own heritage, right? Even here in the United States, if you were you were black, you still have to feel guilty of your own culture, being American, right? If you are, a Caucasian, Italian, whatever, you still have to just feel bad because of your heritage, because of Columbus, all this stuff, right? We have come to a point that we say no more. No more. No, we are pushing back. We are pushing back, most importantly, with the truth. With the truth. That's what I think was missing a lot from the old conservatives, right? It's just they didn't own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these folks are Lauterbach Crowder and some of these Daily Wire, they didn't hold them, and they didn't own it. The Charlie Kirks of the they didn't own it. They did their job, and I understand, but they needed to own it. They never did. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. I'll see you next one.